But I'll tell you, the NFC East has been made fun of the entire year, and for good reason. There's bad teams. But this is the best year to have a division champion with that bad of a record, because I can make a case that you can make a run no matter who you are. Why? Because you're going to get the home game no matter what. And after that, these road games really aren't road games.
Well, the same thing as I would just say, like, the road games aren't really road games, and the home games are home games.
But still, you get one home game, which I'd still rather be at home. But you get the one home game, and then after that, the road games aren't as tough. They're still tougher than a home game, but they're not as tough. And in this conference, I don't see a team that is just so dominant. Like, if the Giants were trying to win a division sitting here at 3-7 right now in the AFC, I would say, okay, it'd be cute if they were able to make the playoffs, win the division, but really they have no shot. You could make a case in this conference with the way they've played some of the best teams in the conference, even though they've lost, like to the Rams, like to the Buccaneers.
They played those guys tough.
They played them really tough.
They played Pittsburgh tough in week 1.
So, and this is not just trying to drum up support for a bad team because the teams are so bad. This is the truth. Like, you could actually, if you are the team that comes out of the NFC East, whether it's the Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, or Washington, you could make a run in this NFC. And maybe things change and a team emerges, but just because the Seahawks have an easy schedule the rest of the way is not going to make me think that the Seahawks are some great team. That defense has been horrible for them, and it's not just going to get better overnight. So find me any team, and I can find you a team that's going to go down to anybody in the NFC.
Well, the Seahawks had their best defensive performance this past week against Arizona. So, maybe with getting some of their people back and Carlos Dunlap in the lineup, because they got him from Cincinnati right before the trade deadline. He had 2 sacks against Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. So maybe their defenses get a little bit better, and Russell Wilson's always going to give you a chance. But I don't know. If you are the Giants right now and you've just fired your offensive line coach and you got to come back and you got to kind of deal with all this, especially after the offensive line had gotten better the last 3 weeks. That's the whole weird thing about the Giants thing. Is that I understand the moment a guy crosses the line, he's got to go. He's got to go. And I appreciate that every head coach has worked their ass off to get to that position. And everybody on that staff needs to respect that man. If you don't respect that man, then you don't have a chance. And if that man doesn't respect himself and stand up for himself and do what Joe Judge did, you don't have a chance. That doesn't seem to be the way that Joe Judge operates. He operates the right way. I think, in this whole haughtiness thing,
that's a bunch of nonsense.
Stop. But the thing about the haughtiness thing, it's
now if people missed it. Let me explain, because we did only talk about this for 5 minutes yesterday. There was a report in a tweet thread from Mike Silver of the NFL Network after the Mark Colombo firing by Joe Judge that there are people in the Giants organization who believe that Joe Judge's personality is off-putting and he has some haughtiness to him. Yeah. So that was the report. So this is what Boomer's talking about.
Right. So here's the thing. Why would you hire Joe Judge? You're hiring Joe Judge because of his background. For the people that he worked for, one was the great Nick Saban down in Atlanta, and the other one was the great Bill Belichick up in New England. So, of course, he is going to have to do things the way that they've done things, because that's the way he's seen success happen. That's why you hire a guy like that. Now, sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. I could sit here and tell you that maybe Romeo Crennel almost had a chance in Cleveland, and they pulled the rug out from underneath him. Then I could also tell you that Matt Patricia's not working out in Detroit. I could also tell you Bill O'Brien had a modicum of success down in Houston. I could tell you that Vrabel is having a lot of success in Tennessee. So that haughtiness, or that, hey, you know what? I worked with Bill Belichick in New England, and I know how it needs to be done. That's why the hell you hire the guy in the first place.
Sure.
Because you want him and his experience and his winning experience, and he has seen the ingredients that lead to that. And I think we have all seen, even though they're 3-7, that he is a no-nonsense football coach.
And it's working, because if the players weren't buying in, they wouldn't be playing this hard every week and giving them a chance to win every week.
And I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. Now, they go on the road to Cincinnati. They're going to see Ryan Finley at the quarterback position. They got to destroy Cincinnati.
They're a 5-point favorite.
And this is going to be
when the last time the Giants were a 5-point favorite?
I don't know, but I believe this is going to be a game where they run for like 150 to 200 yards just to make a point.
Sure.
That, we got a new offensive line coach in here. We're going to rotate our guys because that's what I want. and we're going to run it right down the Cincinnati Bengals' throat. And I believe that that's what's going to happen.
Is it Googs or Googe?
Googe. Now,
Googe.
The thing that I wonder about, and I know that a lot of the beat writers are wondering about, the people that cover the Giants are wondering about, and this is really interesting to me, is the relationship now between Jason Garrett and Googe. That's important. Offensive line coach, offensive coordinator. And I think Joe Judge was trying to put out some of these fires yesterday, talking about working with coaches professionally, that we are a professional organization. We are trying to be the best team that we possibly can be. And there are decisions that every coach is going to make. Some are going to like them, some aren't going to like them. And quite frankly, I'm moving forward professionally with the guys that I have on my staff, and I expect them to do the same as well. But we all know, it's like you have like a rooster in the hen house, if you will. Mm-hmm. Who is the guy that is now going to be, backstabbing me? Because as a coach in the NFL, and I don't care what team it is.
Yeah, there's always one of those guys, one or two of those guys, huh?
There's going to be a backstabber somewhere.
Right.
That doesn't like your haughtiness.
Sure. Right. Well, listen, I don't think that Joe Judge should worry about if someone thinks he's haughty, nor do I think Joe Judge cares about that stuff. I really believe him when he says the stuff that he says. It doesn't even get to him. It doesn't even get to him. But I'm just going to throw out the names of these teams. You tell me if you're the Giants, if you got into the playoffs, you'd be scared to play them.
All right.
The Rams?
Well, it's not that I'm scared to play them.
No, you got a shot against every one of these teams.
I would say
you got a shot.
That would give me I have a healthy respect for them. I do.
Okay, but
I'm not as scared.
Okay, but my point is,
I'm not as scared.
They went in there and had a shot to win the game on the last drive.
Rams are better than they were last time. I'm telling you, they're bad. They're
all right.
They're
Seahawks. We're going to see the Giants play the Seahawks coming up, but I still need to see more consistent play out of that defense. And Russell Wilson, he went through a bad stretch. Are they going to right themselves and be great heading into the year? I don't know. Going to Seattle, probably not the greatest spot.
Running around after Russell Wilson. But the Giants are getting healthier on defense. They're getting a couple of their players back. McKinney's coming back. Zyme's coming. What's his the defensive lineman, X-Man.
Yeah, O'Shane Ximenez.
He's coming back. So they're gonna have some. Now I don't know if they'll dress this week or not. I don't know how close they are to coming back, but I think they have 21 days, or they'll be, if they don't play within that 21 days, then they'll be put on IR and gone for the season. But I think they're ready to come back. That's great.
Packers inconsistent. They've put up some stinkers this year, man. They have. They barely beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 4-6 Minnesota Vikings beat the hell out of them. They lost last week to the Colts. They are up and down. They are. They're not a solid football team. Now, every one of these teams, they're better than the Giants, clearly, because of the record. My point is that these teams are not – they're very middle of the road this year.
You mentioned three teams, okay? Mm-hmm. 3 teams that have 3 quarterbacks that can beat you on any given Sunday.
Sure, okay.
So
you don't like Jared Goff that much.
Well, I do like Jared. They threw 51 times last night.
I understand,
on the road in Tampa, and
you don't put Jared Goff in that upper echelon.
He's been in the Super Bowl, man. He took.
I like Goff more than other people. I like Goff. Okay, I like him.
I like Goff. You like him. I like him.
But we look at Jared Goff as a product of Sean McVay's offense and guys running wide open.
You more a Goff guy or an Inge guy?
More of a Goff guy, I think.
You're
yes,
more of a Goff guy than an Inge guy. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So the Packers are another one, and then we look at the Bucs.
Two of the three of those teams that you just mentioned have Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
2 out of the 3.
That's what I said, 2 out of 3.
But I look at the
Goff
team.
May get there someday.
I know you're so with the blinders on with the quarterback because it's a quarterback world. I get it.
It's a quarterback league.
It's a quarterback league, and I agree.
You even said that about your own quarterback.
That is very true.
Yes.
But let's look at these teams as a whole. Let's look at these teams as a whole.
Quarterback.
I can't just look at the quarterback. All right, in that case, then, I can't just look at the quarterback.
You got to look at the quarterback.
I do look at it, and then I look at the rest of the team. So in that way, then the Saints were throwing them out.
No, you're not throwing
them out. Not enough information. Throwing them out.
You got some tape now on Taysom Hill.
A little bit of tape.
Coach said you got tape. When you got tape on a guy, now all of a sudden you can start getting ready to defend that guy. But he's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and then the Giants should have beaten the Bucs, and screw them. So my point I still stand by, and I know you're going to find the best in all of these teams to counter the argument, as you should. But to me, you get in this year, in this conference, anything is possible.
You know what I'm hoping for, honestly?
What?
Not a muff, but what I'm hoping for is that the Giants win their division and they host Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, would that be unbelievable?
I'm somehow finding my way into that stadium. I am somehow finding my way into that stadium.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
To root against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah. I got a credential somehow. I don't care. You could test me 15 days up into advance of that game. I don't even care. Get me into that game to root against the Buccaneers in that one.
I mean, the Giants, after all of this crap that's gone on this year, if somehow
they win a playoff game,
they get to the playoff game and they beat the Bucs
I'd love
at
that.
the Meadowlands.
Oh, I would love that. Just think about all the hullabaloo around these Buccaneers, and then they're out in the first round to a team that was under 500. That would be the capper. That's what I want to see more than anything.
That would be a 2020 capper. That game would be played in 2021, though.
Yeah, it's okay. It's still carryover of the crazy 2020 season.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.